This is Matt Duffield with mattduffieldtrading.com, and tonight I'm going to do a video recap on RJET and FORD. And before we get started, I want to remind you this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I'm not a registered investment advisor, so please make your own decisions. Penny stock trading can be risky and you can lose a lot of money. So RJET, that's the symbol we're looking at here, the 1 minute time frame. This popped big today after a huge plunge yesterday. Let me show you yesterday, 5 minute 2-day. So yesterday this tanked from basically $3 all the way down to $2 when this airline, I don't know, there's news that they just can't agree on a contract going forward with their pilots. And if they can't get their pilots to agree on this, they're facing bankruptcy. Potentially. News came out today, and that's what caused this huge up move, which didn't fully recover the gains, but about half of them, on the belief that this contract will be agreed upon if the actual pilots get the chance to vote and not the union. So that's the fundamental aspect. I like to focus on technicals. I understand that much better. So on the 5 minute chart, you can clearly see this was an impulsive move from 2 to, it actually touched over 275 there, you can see. And let me show you the 5-day. This has been very turbulent. Almost every day you see a gap down or a gap up. Here, huge gap down. Next day, not huge, but decent gap up. Huge gap down. And today, just a rally directly out of the gate. So, like I said, this is very newsworthy, and news can tend to change the technicals. So if something comes out in the morning, who knows where this will end up. Hopefully it's positive news, because I did buy into this today, and I'll show you my thinking here. So on the 5 minute chart, let me draw a trend line. Get this ascending broadening wedge pattern there. And this is very typical. Normally you see 1, 2, and then a third peak touching that upper trend line. And the lower trend line remains constant at 250, which it held up throughout the day. So what I'm banking on is that this will either gap up to, say, 280 and right at that upper trend line tomorrow, or the market will open around 250 and then, just make a beeline to 280 like it did here. That's speculation, of course. I don't have the greatest feeling about this, but I did buy into it. It's not one of my better moves of the week, but I've been on such a winning streak. I went for it. I couldn't make any day trades today. I missed out on some good plays because of that. I've made 3 day trades this week, and due to the pattern day trade rule, I can't make any more day trades, but I can make an overnight trade. The pattern day trade rule, it's there to protect you, but unfortunately for me, after many years of trading, it has never protected me. It always works against me. So anyway, that being said, so I showed you on the 5 minute chart, we've got this like ascending broadening wedge, but on the 1 minute chart, it doesn't exactly play that way. This is very odd. If you draw the trend line here, the upper trend line followed by the lower one at 250, that looks more like a descending triangle. And guess what? If it plays out that way, its price is reaching the apex of the triangle. I would expect a break down or break up, or I'm sorry, break out pretty much directly in the morning, just like I'm expecting, or I was saying with the ascending broadening wedge. And the price target of the pattern would be 30 cents. So you take 30 cents and add it above this trend line here, wherever that might be. When it does break out, you might be looking at $3 a share. And on the downside, if it breaks lower, 220. And 220 does make sense because you can see there's a layer of support right there. So, oh yeah, my trade, just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at here. I may have jumped the gun, but I saw this decent rally, and it pulled back to like minor support there at 260, and I bought in at 261. Small position, or a fairly small position. So at the moment, I feel comfortable. If it breaks lower, I'll take a quick loss. But on the upside, I'm looking for a quick gain, hopefully around 280, $3 at the most. All right. The other hot play of the day that I was watching all day long was Ford. This has been the hot play of the week, like CLTX was last week. Like I said, unfortunately, look at this spike from yesterday's close, $1.80, and it touched 290 this morning. In my video last night, I underestimated this completely. I said it had a potential for topping out right here at $1.90, followed by a big sell-off to $1.30. That was wrong, but I presented the other scenario that if it broke above these highs at $1.92, it could go to 220. So on the 1 minute time frame, you can see it did open around 220, 230, and kind of chopped around in there a bit, and then just had a massive spike all the way up to 290 within the first 15 minutes of trading. This is a typical pattern that I look for. A strong gap higher, followed by a little consolidation, and then a push above that morning high, which the morning high was around 242. And as you can see, as soon as it breaks that high, traders pile in. You've got shorts covering, you've got momentum players, and that's what drove this up to 290 or so. So after that, as you would expect, it fizzled a bit and price sold off all the way back down to $2. Just consolidated between 2 and I think that's 230 or so for most of the day. But it did get a push in the last 20 minutes of trading. You can see this little push higher here. Very similar to how it did the day before gapping higher. So I did buy into this one as well at the close, 236. Just hoping for a quick buck tomorrow with a gap up. And after hours, it's trading 10 cents higher, about 244, 245. So we'll see if it holds. I don't feel 100% on this either. But, what I'm looking for is just a gap higher. So if it gaps to 250, I'm pretty much out. If it gaps to 240, I'm probably going to get out. If it opens around this price, I would view that as weakness, and this might be going down. Let's look at the 5-minute chart here. I don't have a whole lot to say about this, but you do have higher lows each day. And this big spike followed by consolidation here with this this low followed by a higher low in the afternoon, spike at the end of the day. This could gap up to 250 and retest this 290 high. That's very possible. So to me, it was worth I guess the risk to reward was there for me to jump in around 236, because on the downside, I feel like I'll be stopped out around 220. And one more look at the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, that's all I got, guys. Best of luck tomorrow.